on that early, on that build-up momentum.
Welcome back, Yash, to the World Esports Championships 2023, live right here in the Palace Amphitheater. I am Waxen, joined by the outstanding Jeeves. Jeeves, welcome to the stream, welcome back in Yash, and welcome back to probably my most favorite series of the day. It's Mongolia, it's Kyrgyzstan, and it's gonna go all down in a best of three.
This is going to be a goddamn hot series. Mongolia have shown incredible form. Kyrgyzstan as well. Two powerhouse teams in this tournament. I think it's definitely going to go to a best of three, all three games.
I
for
agree.
Sure. Yeah, I'm super excited for this one. I've been waiting for it all day, actually. You know, I was looking at like the docket today, and I was like, okay, this is the one. That's like
where magic happens.
Exactly, exactly. And you know, I'm excited to see Iesf back in action again. And but Mongolia, you know, they brought the heat. They did drop a game yesterday.
The first one all tournament, yeah, they dropped the first one all tournament long.
But did you see the heroes they were picking? They were kind of like toying with the enemy a little bit.
Is Mongolia the Dark Willow carry team?
They did, no, I think that was Myanmar.
Okay, my
No,
bad.
no. So what they did was they played game one Riki mid.
Oh, wow. And then Rubik?
And then Rubik.
Absolutely flashy coming in from the mid player.
Unbelievable. So Sanctity, he got absolutely hammered on the Riki and then he made this insane comeback. You know, the Rubik was also like, it was kind of devilish. The damage output on it was insane. Like just murdering people left, right, and center. But it was a Rubik, you know. So eventually, you know, game 3, they pull out an actual mid-hero, and it's over.
Unbelievable. And I'm looking, I mean, I was talking actually to one of the Mongolia players just before this, and they seem extremely confident. I asked them, oh, what do you think about your chances in this upcoming series? And they were like, oh, I'm feeling good about my chances against every team in this tournament.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, these are some fighting words. They did say, though, that Kyrgyzstan is a bit of a dark horse and they're not quite prepared for them because they were not expecting them to be here.
Okay, so I think you did the interview with the Mongolian team after their victory yesterday.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, and they were saying, oh, you know, I would rather play this team or that team, and we're not too worried about Kyrgyzstan because their main carry is not here. You know, because during the group stages they played with like their Ruslan, I think, lower level MMR, sort of 4K MMR. But yeah, Kami's here. So
has been putting on
yeah,
show
a
on main stage
masterclass,
for
a
us.
masterclass for sure. So yeah, that's definitely going to be a stiff, you know, a stiff competition. I wonder if they're going to prioritize maybe trying to ban out the Faceless Void that he's plays so well. It's such an annoying hero, obviously. Like, he goes really well in the late game. The Chronosphere can put a stop to most teams' aggression. So we'll see. How much Mongolia are going to acknowledge that strength.
Yeah, and as we talk about them, we just had the pleasure of seeing their lineup on the screen earlier, but you mentioned Sanctity, their mid laner, 4-2-3, full stack of roster. But now, Team Kyrgyzstan, we got R, we got Zayat, obviously the star player of the team on position 4. We got Max, who's been doing phenomenal. And this is where we are looking at the non-updated version, because Kami should be here.
Sure.
But obviously, we then had Blizzy and Kami.
Well, Blizzy's their off laner.
Yes.
Very strong. Very impressive. Very storied individual. I mean, same with Zayas. Obviously, Zayas was second place at TI last year with Team Secret. And but the thing about both of these teams, there's a lot of national pride. They're here to prove that Kyrgyzstan and the Mongolia are serious contenders on the world stage.
Yeah.
And we're in the upper bracket. One of these teams is going to go through to the upper bracket final.
Top 3.
Top 3 guaranteed. Yeah, so I mean, this is the competition. This is what we're looking for.
And you were mentioning that Faceless Void, but since that Faceless Void that has been banned in the last series versus Mongolia, they've been running some strats that were so good that Team United States started copying them, and those were strats surrounding the Warlock pick. They've been running this Warlock paired with a Sven, paired with a Gyro, and a Zayat on a Lion. Those 3 combinations have proved to be deadly, so far so that the United States replicated both of the strats in both of the maps they won last night.
Yeah, the Mudman strategy, right? The Soup Lord, you know? I mean, how do you beat Warlock, you know, Warlock strats? Well, so you just take Rubik, right? And now you also are the Soup Master, you know, the double Soup Master. Got a little head-to-head here, Sanctity versus Asgold. This is, I don't think Ruslan's playing those, so we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, well, this might be Kami statistics, but we don't have a Kami picture because he came in after the media day. So it's the carry, the mid to carry comparison here, right?
Sanctity is the mid hero.
Yeah, the mid player
versus the
carry.
What would be the carry of Kyrgyzstan?
Yeah.
So the 1 versus the 2 here, but yeah, I mean, Sanctity, like I say, when he's on meme heroes, which I don't think they're going to meme in this game, but when they're in meme heroes. Even then he looked good. Even then he looked solid. And I talked to Black about he plays quite a lot with both teams in Southeast Asia, and he was telling me that Sanctity, he loves these unusual, you know, flavor picks.
Thompson like, you could even go like, you know, all of these out of pocket picks that no one expects in this meta, and that's what you love to have from one of your players. You know, you're gonna start having to think, oh, do we ban his random heroes and give him the meta ones, or we still stick to the meta and give him the random heroes?
I think it's very important in this particular series as well that both teams maintain their identity. You know, they play their own game, force the enemy to try and respond to them, and we'll wait and see. We'll have to wait and see how that pans out. I do not think we're going to see a Nature's Prophet or Gyrocopter in this series, but
you don't think so?
No, I think they'll get banned, like, you know.
Okay, I think Nature's Prophet should definitely be off the table. It just went through the draft, just the previous series, and it was horrendous to watch. It was a 7-1-11 support in minute 8, and higher net worth than pretty much everybody else. So Nature's Prophet should be completely deleted, if you ask me. It's not deleted, but it is banned by Kyrgyzstan, who's also going for a Phoenix first phase ban, whereas Mongolia responds with a classic Invoker and a Storm Spirit.
So they're trying to Mongolia are focusing on the mid of Kyrgyzstan, trying to kneecap their mid player. And you kind of have like I mean, Phoenix probably position 4 as well, maybe 5. So focus on those support heroes. They get a lot of bans though before we get the first pick coming out here. So yeah, there goes the Vengeful Spirit. It's a pretty classic hero at the moment, very strong, really good in the lane. So really popular in Southeast Asia as well. So not unusual to see it banned out.
Yeah, obviously one of the stronger heroes that I feel like Venge gets banned in the first phase of bans all the time, but always as the third ban, never first or second, which I find just pretty hilarious, to be completely honest with you. But we got to talk about the Mongolia first pick, so that's why they're taking a bit more time right now for both sides to go for the last ban. They will take out the Dawnbreaker and the Brewmaster, which
so I'm still seeing
Dark Willow
and Dark Willow. Will this be Dark Willow carry or Dark Willow 4?
For Mongolia's side, it would be very interesting, but I was just talking to BNC of Team Romania, and he was telling me how strong he believes Dark Willow is, and still underpicked despite being quite contested, and Mongolia seems to believe the same, and like you said, the reason it can be a flex pick for them, unlike other teams.
I mean, it has been banned a lot, though. I mean, we say it's been unpicked, but that's literally because there's been a crosshair on her, like every single series I've casted at least. And yeah, so the Doom, so Beastmaster's still in there.
Yeah, and it's just being completely ignored. I don't know why, because Beastmaster, you know, and Gyrocopter and PA.
Gyrocopter gets kicked to the curb right now.
Okay, yeah,
Faceless Void as well. Mongolia keen to take that one out of the equation.
So Sven is still in the pool for Kyrgyzstan, and Sven Warlock, both of them there. But this Doombringer, I gotta ask you, Chiefs, first pick for Doom after all the nerfs?
Well, it still has Doom.
Fair.
You know? I think it was Team United States. They prioritized playing Doom, I think, in a few of their series on the main stage versus Kyrgyzstan as well. So maybe they saw something. I mean, Kyrgyzstan actually handily beat the United States.
Quite a beatdown, yeah.
But of course, Mu is very famously known for his offlane, and specifically, he's been a really strong Doom player historically.
Yeah, of course.
So I don't know if that's maybe sparked a little interest in Kyrgyzstan. They're like, hey,
Rubik's been
that's
taken out.
pretty good. Well, yeah, you pick up Doom, like you take out the Rubik to make sure the enemy doesn't get Doom.
Of course.
The other thing that kind of goes well with the Doom, though, is the Grimstroke.
You know what this also tells me? By the way, Dreamstroke, great pick. Pretty much every single game today we've had a Dreamstroke. And I just got to mention, this Doombringer tells Mongolia, you've got the Beastmaster. Take it. We can beat the Beastmaster. And they're not banning it either, and they get their hands on the Warlock.
No real surprise there. We just talked it up, and Mr. Mud, he's going to be here.
Yeah.
You got to be looking for that Sven next as well, right?
Is Mongolia going to get Sven as a counter pick here? That's the real question. Do you want to run a Dark Willow Sven? That's very possible, and I think it was actually attempted last night. Obviously, the way the new Jinx works, you can throw it onto the Sven that you just run and hit you, and you don't just take physical damage, you take magic damage from Jinx as well. So could be a counter play, but it's the Batrider.
Okay, so they like to run this as a 5 hero.
This is so far the most out there draft we've had since the group stage, I would say.
No, I mean, I think we saw Mongolia run Batrider yesterday.
Primal Beast
and the Primal Beast is a really good solution as well. It kind of forces your enemy in an awkward place. It comes with the Axe upgrade with a break.
And obviously both Batrider and Primal Beast can kind of get away from the Warlock upheaval.
Yeah.
Right? Batrider flies away. Primal Beast charges away.
Both have BKB piercing disables.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the Primal Beast pairs very well with the Dark Willow Jinx, like we said.
Yeah, so he's already doing incredible amounts of AoE damage. You throw the Jinx on top. What an absolute nightmare. Of course, Dark Willow, one of the few heroes with 3 ultimates. Ice Frog with the big brain there. So, from what I want to see, though, from Kyrgyzstan now
is Sven, right?
Well, they're going to get the Pangolier for the mid lane. For
yeah.
So it's a pretty good man. I imagine they play the Primal Beast on the off lane though.
Pangolier mid here is going to be very interesting. That means you have already 2 melee cores. Again, I suppose you could run a Doom 4. I think we have seen Zayats do that a few times, especially back in his Secret days. But that's very greedy 4.
Yeah, especially if you kind of go into the Midas build, which you kind of want to do on Doom. You know, you already have the Devour, which is going to accelerate to some extent, but then getting the Midas on top, it could get kind of awkward. I'm not overly against it if the enemy's running like Chen or Enchantress, where you've got that creep that you can gobble up, you know. Of course. But yeah, I imagine it's going to be off lane, and then we have this Pangolier for the mid lane.
Very interesting though. Pangolier pick, if it will be Batrider mid or Primal Beast, Pango deals quite well with both of them, can kind of get away from either of those two. So
no, I'm pretty confident it's
a 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Kyrgyzstan is taking their sweet time, and they're gonna go for the Jeev special. Jeev, it's the one and only. It's the Bloodseeker.
So in this particular matchup, Bloodseeker very good versus the Primal Beast, very good versus what Bat wants to do as soon as he initiates in there. You know, normally you want to go in there, lasso a target, pull them out, but all of a sudden you're bleeding from your backside, and it makes it incredibly difficult to do anything. I don't know if I 100% like it here that we're now 3 melees on 3 cores here.
Unless it's a Doom support, maybe.
Unless it's a Doom support, yeah. But still, it's a little bit awkward. Bloodseeker plus Warlock as well. It's a bit of a lame duck lane. It's got very, very high sustain, but it doesn't feel, there's not much potential for murdering, you know, because there's no stun, there's no kind of like...
yeah, I guess you count on the Warlock and obviously Bloodseeker combo to get the opponents low enough. The Bloodseeker doesn't need to stun them, just chases them down.
So you throw down the soup, and then, you know, Bloodseeker just can play around that maybe. But we go for the TA here. Normally TA finds herself in the safe lane position.
Yeah, I would say
TA versus Bloodseeker, again, I think I like the matchup as Bloodseeker. Honestly, with Blood Rage, I can eat through the shield very quickly.
I think I'm looking at 3 TA counters already from Kyrgyzstan, so I'm not a big fan of Templar Assassin here. I think Scorched Earth breaks Refraction quite fast.
We could potentially see a Bloodseeker Axiom.
Yeah, of course. We've seen one last night, and Bloodseeker has been... I think we have a 100% win rate on the Bloodseeker this on the main stage, on the Bloodseeker. Obviously, banning the Viper. Viper kind of deals a lot with the Primal Beast and breaks the TA in half. Grimstroke on the other side, although it's a hero that could have been picked by Kyrgyzstan themselves, they have last pick, so could be nabbed by Mongolia.
I think though they were really suffering for other disables over in Kyrgyzstan. I mean, obviously, of course, the Spirit Link though versus the Rupture and the Doom together, those are, you know, you're magnifying. You've got 4 Ruptures, 4 Dooms. Yep, that's pretty sick. But yeah,
at the same time, you had Lasso.
They have no space. They have no space in their lineup to bring it in, so it's fair enough.
They're taking their sweet time for their final ban right here, as Mongolia is playing a rather different draft compared to most of the other teams this tournament, and we're still not sure which one of these heroes will fulfill the role of what core. And yeah, Zayats doesn't seem the most confident, but very interesting. Mongolia is the first team this tournament to not ban the Earth Spirit.
Okay, they get rid of the Undying, and then on the other side of things, they get rid of the Dark Seer.
Yeah.
So they
think it's a Doom.
They think it's a Doom 4. Yeah. I mean, obviously, Dias has run it before, so
maybe.
Perhaps.
I think Kyrgyzstan is not sure themselves. They just want to see the full lineup from Mongolia, and they have over 2 minutes right now, Jeeves, to make something out of this draft. And
yeah, I mean, that's a hell of a lot of reserve time. You know,
they could go to the toilet, order their pizza, come back, and then pick their hero.
Sure, they could probably watch one of the previous games today.
Yeah, some of them were so fast. Yeah, but I love seeing a bit of different picks right here, and it's wow. The Shadow Demon.
Okay, so maybe we do get the mid Bat Rider then. Or mid Primal and off-lane Bat.
Primal 4?
No. No, it's got to be Bat.
No, it could be.
But why, I mean, with the Bloodseeker on the table, why would you make the Bat Rider a core?
And then Beastmaster, obviously, making his way through the draft. Kyrgyzstan says, okay, you guys are weird. We're just going to pick the most OP hero.
So this is, it guarantees the Zaya's position for Doom.
on that build up, momentum, getting that into the late game as well.
Pangolier, Kami on the Bloodseeker in the safe lane, and Blizzy on the Beastmaster. Now Blizzy, hardcore Beastmaster player for the old Beastmaster.
Okay.
I don't think much has changed too much with the with the bird dive. Over on the other side of things, it will be a 4-2-3 carry Willow. It'll be the off-lane Primal Beast, the mid-Templar Assassin, and they actually are going to run the 5-bat, which makes sense, right? Because the Bloodseeker kind of devaluing it as a core pick, and then I guess it's a 4
Shadow Demon.
Shadow Demon, yeah.
Question for you, Jeeves. Let me see how well because I don't really know, the patch notes. Do the birds target Dark Willow in the Shadow Realm?
No, nothing does, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm asking.
No. You still have to have the target for the bird. They don't even see her.
Is it not grounded on the area?
I mean, if you target, no, it's automatic, isn't it?
It's automatic, but like, do the birds automatically target the Shadow?
See her. Stealth.
Okay, so this might be a make or break pick, and it's not the first time Mongolia's running it. And yeah, Romania, we will be seeing a Dark Willow yet again on the main stage. Jeeves, who do you have in this game 1 of the series?
I mean, I don't even care about their draft. I see Bloodseeker, I'm going with Bloodseeker, bro. I mean, maybe a little bit biased, but I mean, both teams are going to be phenomenal here. So, and I do like the bot rider kind of play, but I think this mid TA, it's not really, like, okay, it's probably going to beat the crap out of the Pangolier, okay, for sure. It gives them an early Roche potential with the way that she itemizes, but you got the Beastmaster, you got the sustain from the Warlock, you got the Soup, you got this random Doom just coming in and wrecking your show, and then you just got Bloodseeker just making hay while, you know, while the sun is shining here in Yashi. And I'm down for this. I think Kyrgyzstan, game 1.
I feel like both teams got away with what they wanted, and I have seen more of Kyrgyzstan so far, so I will take them just because of that Beastmaster. But I would love to see Mongolia pull this one off with these phenomenal 5 picks. So I'm taking Kyrgyzstan. Both of us have their draft as favorites. Sure. And again, I do think the Warlock Beastmaster will prove too much, as they are some of the strongest heroes this patch.
I mean, by far, it's not like 100%, of course, for Kyrgyzstan.
Never
but
is,
yeah, Mongolia can definitely show their chops here. So we go out here. They're both going to end up smoked. Okay, I like this little bit of a wrap around here from the Dire on the high ground there. We're trying to get some eyes on that mid lane.
Spotted the Watcher already.
Yeah, a little ping coming out. Some super good warding from both teams there, giving some nice vision of rotations and whatnot.
Very early on, Dire deep jungle cliff ward, if you can notice right there at the bottom of the Primal Beast. Very interesting. Not quite what I was expecting to see, but Mongolia will be patient. We see a lot of teams going in the jungle and they're being like, let's just go back, get their bounty runes. But they are being very, very patient right now, waiting for those bounty runes and for the rotation back bottom.
I mean, obviously both teams very much aware of like how the other team plays in these first blood situations. So you don't want to overcommit, and you want to go for that 50-50 rune exchange, not lose anything. I love this little hello there. And it's actually 3 bounty runes for Mongolia. And Zayas manages to rescue the situation a little bit up top. Gets one back the other way for Kyrgyzstan.
And we are underway. Max already placing a sentry ward, getting ready to deward anything, but nothing was placed. You know, checking every single corner in the shadow of the trees. But nice block down mid for Sanctity on his ranged Templar Assassin.
Yeah, he comes out with a pretty good block there, but a nice quick control will bring the keeps back into contention there. A little bit of action happening top and bottom right now. Kami went for the Bloodlight level 1 once again. He's going to use that to try and zone and secure the CS. And with Max there, of course, he should have a pretty solid lane outside of his passive, because once the heal's online, he's got some pretty good sustain, so he shouldn't have to expend too much.
I think Kami is not happy now. Despite all the damage that Max has been doing, he missed 2 last hits because of the little imps.
Yeah, sure. The chains causes a problem.
Sorry, that's...
We're going to miss the first blood up top. It's Dark Willow popping off there with the thorns, and then C going to make sure he follows up and brings that kill down.
Was it, or was that a Batrider solo kill?
No. The Bramble Maze was there.
Okay. More damage being dealt, already burning through so many rechargeable.
The only problem with the Link here is it really pushes your lane, you know. Bloodright then pushes it even more. So he's going to get a little bit of damage done down there. They're trying to go on Blizzy up top. Already the Shadow Realm being used to good effect. And hit him up with the birds, though. As soon as he comes out, he tries to back up, gets back in under the tower. SE kind of low, slowed up by the boar poison as well.
We'll have to pop the south right there. Blizzy still doing very, very well thus far on his Beastmaster. You're not too upset if you lost your Doom. Doom can always come back because
on that early, on that build-up, momentum, getting that into the late game as well. And then